What is up? We are back. I've got Mike G in the house. I've got cousin Carl in the house. Welcome, dudes.
Good to be here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for joining me, boys. It's Friday the 13th. Nothing weird has happened yet. This is Brews with Galoob. I would say I'm not scripted completely tonight, but that would be a lie because I did write down some things because I'm not real good at remembering shit. I'm getting older.
I'm glad you wrote it down because you didn't tell us anything.
That's the plan. I want you off the cuff. I'm the only one that knows what's going on. It's a fun game I like to play.
Twisted
First of
sick.
all, before I get into talking about football, because everyone knows that that's what our bread and butter is, I want to touch on some things that are not football, especially with the dedication to the Atlanta Braves in our neck of the woods. First of all, did anyone see Bryce Harper and Arcia the other night? How do we feel about the
Unfortunately,
situation?
Mike, do you got an opinion first?
I loved it.
What parts of it? Because I'm a Bryce Harper guy. He's my guy, and I love the fact that he took now. And I know earlier you told me that it was a little misunderstood how Arcia was coming at him, or it was misconstrued in
Yeah.
some way. But the way that Harper took it was disrespectful. So I loved it when he was disrespectful back after stepping up to the plate and yoking two bombs.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was almost like a call your shot type thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at those results, like you can't. I mean, there's not much else that you can say. The only angle that I have issues with is just how it got out in the first place. I don't think that the reporters should leak that. Like there should be, people should be guys, allowed to be guys in the locker room without the reporters being, weasels, rats, whatever the heck you want to talk like. And there should be a safe space for those dudes to just be dudes.
Well, see, it's part of the problem with the media. Like, they twisted it in a way that you would never know that that was a leak. They made it sound like this is something that he said in public about Bryce Harper, or in reference to Bryce Harper. And I'm sure that's how Harper took it. So, how would you respond?
Even if Harper heard that it was like, somebody that said jokingly, in this day and age where everyone wants to be Jordan, everyone wants to be Kobe. Now the cool thing is to be pissed off at something. Let's be real. Like, so everyone's looking to have their own cool storyline to say, oh, I've found my chip on my shoulder. So, like, I don't really, whatever these guys have to do to give themselves an edge, go for it. And it worked for them. So I was pulling for the Braves, so I'm a little biased here.
Hey, hey, the way you go about doing that is do what they did. They went out and bounced them out, bounced a 104 win out of the play, a 104 win team out of the playoffs.
All I keep hearing is that the Braves are soft. Fans making excuses for them, talking about this 5 day layoff during the wild card games and how that affects a baseball team. I don't buy into that shit. Mike, what do you think about that?
That debate's been going on between for football for what when there used to be two teams with a bye. I think there's a little bit to it. I don't think there's as much to it as they're making it out to be. But a perfect example of that was what when the Red Sox won the World Series against who was it? St. Louis maybe. They St. Louis had like a week off and the Red Sox went 7 games and come in and swept them. I mean, there's something to it. I don't know that it's a complete excuse, but there's something to it. You
I
take
think
it.
there's.
Huh?
Go ahead.
You take a team that's continued playing versus a team that hasn't seen a ball pitched in a week. I think there's a difference.
Yeah, I talked to Nate about this a little bit earlier, and I said I'm a big fan of like having that momentum. Granted, neither of them were really. A lot of those teams weren't really on fire. They were kind of coasting there towards the end of the season a little bit, but especially like the Braves locking it up so early. But at the same time, like I still think that it is a disadvantage. Yes, you're still the better team, but with sports where the parity is so, there's so much parity. I wish they would find a way to reduce that because, I mean, the Major League Baseball can't want the teams that they have there. So I'm sure once they start seeing the ratings go to the crapper because of this, they're going to be like, whoa, maybe we should do something to ensure that the elite teams aren't at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I don't know. The problem I have is that I have only heard fans complaining about players getting rest. I haven't heard a single player say, "Man, that rest was really terrible." And football teams come off of bye weeks all the time, ready, like raring to go, game planned up, come out the gate storming. I wouldn't say coming off your bye week. You see a lot of football teams losing big.
You see a lot of teams come out flat, coming off a bye week, coming off, first game of the regular season. You haven't played in 6 months. Coming off a bye week, you haven't played in 2 weeks. You've had maybe 2 practices because the coaches are giving time off. Sure, you're game planning in the playoffs, but hell, you don't know who you're playing until that Sunday, and then you only have a few days to game plan for them. I agree with Carl. I think momentum's big. I think continuity. I think keeping the ball rolling, so to speak, is big.
I'm glad y'all are on the same page because I don't buy it. Step up to the plate and hit the ball. I'm out. Give me some rest. Count me in for the rest. I like rest. Give me some sleep. Get me up here, fully charged batteries in the batter's box, locked in, ready to go.
Yeah, this is you said earlier that you're old. You sounded old right there. So.
Sound like I spent a couple hours in the hot tub trying to get some massages.
Well, hey, I'm all for hyperbaric chambers, massages, tiger balm, icy hot, Bengay. Put them all on at the same time, and I'm going to eat some ibuprofen while I'm at it. So one thing that affects this obviously is the wild card series being 3 games. In the beginning of the wild card, first of all, I didn't want wild cards. I think having 4 teams was outstanding. It's only the best of the best. There's one wild card team. They're playing the best division leader. I don't like and the additional teams. But I said when they first started doing it, having the additional team with a 1 game playoff was the dumbest shit I ever seen. I didn't like it. I was a big proponent of a 3 game series for the wild card.
Yeah. I mean, I think a 3 game. So, you take baseball and you take something we've all discussed in the past amongst ourselves. We were big on the NFL keeping it to 6 teams, the baseball keeping it at 4. It keeps the top elite teams only in the playoffs. Now you're just expanding it and you're bringing in more and more teams. Eventually, the NFL will get to half the teams will be in the playoffs, kind of like the NBA is. I think baseball had a good thing with 4. I think it should have stayed with 4. I have nothing really else to say about it, but it's all about money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly about money. And I hate like the NBA having is it 8 teams apiece, right? Or is there another playing game? Is there 9?
So now you have there's 10 teams and so you got around like kind of like a round robin type thing. 7 and 10 play each other. 8 and 9 play each other.
So ridiculous. You've eliminated the entire purpose of the regular season. Why not take your rest days, squeak into the playoffs? Your guys are ready to go. Like guys like LeBron, guys. I think it was Jimmy Butler said, "We're gonna take rest. We're gonna make the playoffs. Who cares what seed we are?"
The only way I see something like that being viable is if you get rid of the tiebreaker and just let them play each other. If you have like 8 and 9 tied, maybe something like that, but not another series. I don't think that's necessary.
Cousin Carl, you look like you got something to say.
No, I don't. We pretty much covered everything. The only thing that I would add is you talked about the players not really saying anything yet. Like, think about the look of that. Like, what player wants to come out and complain about that right now? What kind of look would that be for them to say that, like, no player wants to use that excuse right now? Like, maybe here in a couple months when things, aren't so fresh, you might hear somebody say something. But right now, if they came out with that excuse right now, it just would be a bad look and people would rip them even worse.
I mean, I think in a sense you're right. Like, especially fans that are paying good money to go to playoff games. Because, well, I don't care. You're here to play. Play. They're not going to look at the metrics behind or the reasons behind. They just know they showed up and the team didn't play good.
Which baseball is one of those most influential, like, again, momentum type thing. If the team's not playing well, like the Braves just were playing like shit, you can be out in 3 games, man. You play 162 of them, great. Win 60% of your games and get knocked out in 3.
I kind of understand where you're coming from, but to have a run differential of 200 plus for the year and to come out and score 6 runs in 4 games, I don't care what excuse you're giving me. You didn't show up to play.
Yeah, yeah. It almost makes you think, and I know me and you've had this discussion. 162 games is way too freaking many for one, and
What kind of
two,
sport? It's been that way forever.
and two, it's a very prime example of, again, you talk about the momentum. The best team's not always there because you have whatever circumstances have arisen.
I mean,
Like
I
this
think
one,
you could say that about any sports. A team that's right there on the cusp just slips in, catches fire at the end of the season. It happens all the time. You've had the whole season for the team to mesh, and it all comes together in like one perfect storm. There was that Ravens team with Joe Flacco, and he had one of the most amazing postseasons ever. That could happen anytime. Like Joe Flacco is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. That was a Hall of Fame run in the playoffs.
yeah, that was a good one.
Let's talk about that some more.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't like that.
No, I'm
Anyway,
sure Denver's still having nightmares over that one.
well, with Major League Baseball having Baltimore, LA, Tampa, and Atlanta all lose, I'm not saying there's nothing to it, but Baltimore is wildly inexperienced. Tampa Bay's been falling apart since Wander Franco started chasing elementary school girls. The Dodgers, I don't think, are as good as everyone thinks they are. And Atlanta just crumbled. So there's excuses on both sides of the fence. There's talking points on both sides of the fence. The point is we have Houston, Texas, and Arizona, Philadelphia.
Who had that on their bingo card?
I don't know, but if you had that as like a 4 leg parlay to be the last 4 teams standing, good on you, my
Good
guy.
for you. Good for you.
You may have had what, Houston? That probably it.
I I don't know. I did like Philly. The Philly always seems to just get there with especially with guys like Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, Big Dick Nick in the playoffs, and Harper. I mean, Harper's an intense guy, and a lot of people don't like him. He's my favorite player, but that kind of makes sense if you know me.
It does make sense. Assholes.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited to watch the playoffs though. I like the Major League playoffs. I'll watch a whole bunch of it, and especially I'll watch the Phillies. It's weird that the Diamondbacks are there, but you know what? About all these 4 teams, they have good pitching. The Phillies bullpen played outstanding the last few days.
I can tell you, I'm not going to be watching. I'll watch when the World Series comes around, but I won't be watching this round. But
Yeah.
I'm a casual fan.
If the Pirates were in the playoffs, I'd watch it, but that tells you how often I watch baseball.
Excuse me for the cough. That's another reason I haven't been live with anyone lately. I've been fighting off like freaking pneumonia in my left lung, bronchitis. I could be asbestos. Who knows? But I haven't been able to
COVID.
breathe or talk right for at least, yeah, probably the 97th variation. Let's switch gears. I don't know if you've seen how famous Taylor Swift has gotten from attending Kansas City Chiefs games. It's pretty impressive.
Are we going to talk about Taylor Swift?
I was just talking about her explosion in popularity from her dating Travis Kelsey. No, seriously, Al Michaels, I was the game last night, said it's a sideshow and it's taking away from the actual show. How mad, how crazy is this like battle of Swifties and football fans? Who would have saw this coming?
Go ahead, Carl.
Like
You have to talk about it. It's huge.
no, you don't. Like it
You
doesn't
do.
bother me. It doesn't move my needle at all. I pay no attention to it. I see the camera pan to her when they talk about it. I just ignore it. Like it means the only thing that I thought was funny was the memes that came out about Patty Mahomes' girlfriend like looking all like all upset on, and then why Taylor's up there, and then last night you see them hugging. It's almost like that was like staged to try to show there's no animosity there when anything like that because of the meme. I thought it was funny. All the rest of it, it means absolutely nothing to me. So other people saying that it's football fans versus that, like those are just to me, it's just morons on both sides that want to get excited about something or butthurt about something. Like
Look,
I just it doesn't bother me.
Look here, man. It's a woman attending a freaking football game. Who gives a shit if it's the president's wife, the president's wife, Taylor Swift, or my mother? I could give two fucks.
Hey, if
Like,
Lori's at the football game, I'm in.
I mean, good. His girlfriend's there, and she's a freaking pop star. Cool. Maybe the NFL gained 100 million new girl fans who are 16. Who
I
gives a
think
shit?
the I
They
think
can't go to the game without
the biggest issue that we're running into is football fans being upset about the coverage that it's bringing.
it.
But
She gets like 30 seconds of TV time in a 60-minute game. Get over
I'm
it.
just saying, ratings wise, it's been good for eyes on the TV that usually are not.
If anything,
yes.
Travis Kelsey's the one is the one benefiting from this. His sales were up like 400% the day after the last game, and now he's got 37 more commercials we got to watch on TV and Facebook. Can we just move on to the next thing, please?
Oh, you mean dating a multi-millionaire pop star was not a bad career move?
It's not a bad. Good for him. I will tell you what. So I don't have to talk about it no more. I'll go buy a can of Campbell's soup, so I ain't got to watch the shit anymore.
I feel
Have you
like it's
seen
here.
the Kelseys and his mom now doing the commercial for Campbell's?
See, you're already upset about it. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
No, we were just fine. You're trying to ruin this.
I mean,
Here we go. Here we go.
you know what? I wish I was Travis Kelsey, sure, but I don't care as a fan.
All right, never
I don't
mind.
see. I don't see what you guys see.
I'm not giving it any more screen
She's
time.
worth I don't know how much she's worth. Plus, he's the best tight end in football, getting throws from the best quarterback in football, winning the Super Bowl every other year. You never lose
Oh,
games. You catch 10
I,
balls a game, making $15 million a year. Sure, who the fuck would
listen,
want to be him?
somebody's throwing something.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going to end up with that rant. I was like, there was like 3 different steps. I
Although
thought it was going off the rail. I was like, oh no,
there is a lot of talk about refs throwing games for the Chiefs right now.
And we had the same discussion with the Patriots in their dynasty run.
So you're saying there's no viability to these
I
claims?
100% believe there is favoritism towards the teams that are dynastic. I 100% do.
Yeah, Carl?
Yes.
This is coming from a guy that's cheers for a team that's been relevant for 20, 30 years straight.
Who?
Stillers?
Did you say relevant for 30 years? We ain't been good in fucking 10.
You're always winning records good, right?
Sure, we're 9-8. Woohoo. We get a 17th pick in the draft and still fucking suck the next year.
He's right about that.
And we got a coordinator from Canada who can't call offensive plays, and our second-year quarterback has to audible to shit to score. Sure,
To be
we're
fair,
great.
I don't think Matt Canada is actually from Canada.
I don't get he. You know what? It's Canada. Canada. He sucks. He can go back to
How do I-
college, coach
How do
football.
I point at you on this thing? There, no, yeah, right there.
I can't see it because I can't see anything above here. So
Yeah.
I forgot you can't see the regular screen.
So my
Speaking
opinion on
of-
that is basically, I'll say this: Kansas City, they're playing a lot of primetime games. So guess what? If you're playing in that, it's going to have more eyes. It's going to be more scrutinized. Yada yada yada. I think every single game you look at, I've watched plenty of Redskin games where they're like, it feels like they get hosed all the time. You know, Green Bay, I'm sure feels that way. Dallas feels that way. All these people feel that way. And as long as Kansas City's on top, that stuff's just going to be magnified due to the primetime slots they play on.
they don't want to see the stars get hurt. The Brady, the Mahomes, the Kelsey.
I mean, I feel like you could put a slant on almost any game that you watch and get upset about any call and just say that it was a bad call and they're throwing the game. There's a ton of calls every game that are like, well, that could have went this way. But if you're biased and you're a fan of one team, you're over the top. There's no way that was a call. So I think it is magnified, especially when there's so many people watching the game too, who have the only vested interest being not a fan of the Chiefs and hating them because they are so good.
Well, guess what? Now we get 100 million screaming girls who complain when there's a bad call because Taylor Swift's at the game. Can we go next?
See, I told. Hey, he's mad. He's mad. What's wrong with
No,
Sean Payton and the Denver
We have
Broncos? No more. No, I don't want to do it. Tell me
me,
what's wrong with Sean Payton. Tell me what's wrong with Russell Wilson. Tell me what's going to happen long term in Denver.
Russell Wilson will not be the quarterback next year. He may not finish this year as the quarterback.
Wow.
There's one
Wow.
person's job in Denver that's safe, and it's Sean Payton.
Jeez.
100%.
They're paying those two a lot of money.
They're owned by the Walmart family. They have a lot of money.
Jeez.
I'll tell you what, the at the beginning, like that was one of the most intriguing things for me this off season, because people speak so highly of Sean Payton and what he's able to do. But when I watched Russell Wilson last year, I kept thinking he's gonna find the old Russ. He's gonna find the old Russ, and then seeing all the head crap that he had going on off the field, I was like, this guy's damaged goods. And I was like, so I was very curious, very intrigued to see what the heck was going to happen with that. And it looks like he's done.
So Sean Payton had a good run with a Hall of Fame first ballot quarterback who had an injury that set him back a year and a half. He was highly talented out of college. Drew Brees was a good college quarterback. He was very decent in L.A. or San Diego, wherever the hell he was at. He went to New Orleans. Sean Payton became the coach. The only thing in common between Drew Brees and Russell Wilson is they're both shorter than 6 feet. One can throw the ball, one can't.
Russ used to be able to run too, though. Like
I didn't say anything about
do that anymore.
Bro, he can't because he's not good.
But I'm saying he can't even run anymore.
And the only thing I will defend Russ on is every time he gets the ball, it's like somebody's in his face almost instantaneously, and there's really nowhere for him to go. But I watched, there was a couple plays last night where he was rolling out of the pocket to the right. And the angle that was coming down, he's like 7 inches shorter than the defensive lineman coming at him. Eventually, that shit's going to catch up to you. He's not good anymore. He's small, and he can't throw the football. You have 2 potential Pro Bowl wide receivers. Potential ability.
Not
potential.
Not,
potential.
Not according to Steve Smith.
Well, yeah. And you can't. I seen him make one good throw. What was the touchdown pass last night? That was one out of 25 he threw.
Here's the thing.
And that was
I am not going to stand here and defend Russ right now, but historically, Russ is very good. Russ was in MVP talks multiple times. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's having a bad year, and he had a bad year last year. I don't know why. He must be done.
Me and you have had this discussion. He's an MVP type player. He's never received an MVP vote. No, he's not.
He was in the MVP conversation multiple times.
I'm in the conversation because he never got a vote.
How is Denver getting rid of him if they have to eat $85 million?
I don't think they care. I don't. Sean Payton. It's either going to be Russ or Sean. Who do you picking? Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, you can't have
man.
You can't have. Russ Wilson doesn't strike me as a bench dude.
He is going to get cut.
I don't know how much of a cap hit that would be and how long that will handcuff them as a team. I would have to look at the breakdown. I don't know. Is there any way they move him and eat some of his contract to somewhere like New York?
Team.
Had a bad connection there. I didn't hear you.
Which New York team?
Well, you made me choke on my own spit. The Giants just paid Danny Dimes. They're married to him for this year at least. The Jets and MILF Hunter. That can't possibly be a full year plan, even though they say it is. I don't believe that for a second.
And in what you've seen, why would you, as the Jets, take on that whatever's left of his contract that they would have to take in place to replace a player that's playing better than him.
Maybe he just needs to change of scenery. You know what he is historically.
Zach Wilson is literally playing better than him.
For what, one
You
game?
think?
Because Zach Wilson is
about you?
horrible to watch play
I haven't
football.
seen one good game from Russ, and what is this? 21 games now? 22? He's been in Denver, and he wasn't that good as last year in Seattle. So really been since what
The
the COVID
first
year.
game this year, no, you're fucking recency bias right now. The first game of the season, he threw 4 touchdowns and no picks. So he had a great game. Denver just sucks.
You think that he can handle that New York market?
The first game
Probably
of the
not.
season,
He's definitely soft.
the first game of the season, they lost 17-16. What do you mean he took 4 touchdowns?
Maybe
He
not.
took
Maybe
against
not
the
that.
Redskins or Commanders, whatever.
Oh, okay, what he didn't. He's had a good game, and they still lost because Denver's not a good football team, and they're taking on a new coach and a new system. A coach that's like very, we're going to run my system, I'm sure, after being sabotaged by that dipshit Nathaniel Hackett. What a terrible situation for anyone to be in. So I think it's kind of a bad deal for him. Is he playing bad? Yes, it's not an excuse. He was just playing with a 2-7 and hoping to hit us straight with it.
I can't with you right now. You're going to blame the Russell Wilson downfall on Nathaniel Hackett? Are you serious?
That is not what I said. You're twisting my words. You stop it.
I would argue that Nathaniel Hackett's downfall is because Russ sucks.
Listen, he's trying to hit a pair of 6s on the river, and it's just not happening right now. He can get beat by a pair of 7s either way.
Because Daniel Hackett's dealing? Is that what you're saying?
Great. Now he's a crack dealer. He's connected to the Mexican cartel and possibly curing cocaine in his own backyard.
So let me ask you this. You give up 70
Russell's
points
too
to a
soft
team.
for that.
You give up 70 points to a team and you can't go out and score 30? They've benched everybody halfway through the third quarter. You still can't score.
Let's move on.
I don't want to have to sit here and defend it. I don't. I just think you're being too hard on it.
I've never thought he was good. I haven't.
Super Bowl winning quarterback has never ever been good.
I didn't. What?
Can we talk about another quarterback who's having real problems, real world problems? I don't know if he's hurt his wrist. I lost your sound. I don't have your sound.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I thought you muted him because he didn't want to hear what he had to say.
I need to have that option. That'll be funny. I just mute him and I just start talking.
All right. Last thing. Russ had a Flacco type win. There, I'll say it. Happy.
Oh, what about the Super Bowl we went to right after that and they lost?
Yeah, because he threw a pick on the fucking 3-yard line.
He was in the Super Bowl. I can't do this with you. I can't. Let's talk about the problems in Cleveland. What's Cleveland going to do about Deshaun Watson?
Go ahead, Carl. I need a minute.
You're in timeout. You're in timeout.
I'm gonna mute real quick and yell. I'll be back in a second.
If I had a mute button and I could like black out your screen for 5 seconds.
So is that what is it? Around the horn?
Yeah.
Is that what they do it on? I know they do. I've seen it before.
No. As far as Deshaun Watson goes, it's kind of like the Russ Wilson thing where I'm like, hey, is it just him getting adjusted to a new scenery? Like, you know, he still hasn't been. It's not a full season because he came in week 11 last year, something like that. So he's still, you know, he hasn't had a full season after being off a full season. Like, I'm making excuses, but I'm not bailing until the end of the year. Like, it doesn't look good, but if he hasn't shown better flashes between now and the end of the year, then I'll be done. But I wouldn't be, especially with how much they have invested in it. You can't just abandon ship right now.
See, with Deshaun, you can see the light. With Russ, the light has gone out. So, okay, last time, my bad. Deshaun, I think there's I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. Did DeAndre Hopkins cover his flaws that much? Is that because I mean I don't know what I see on the field. I mean you see flashes of it, like against well, the only game I really watched was when they played us. You can see the accuracy is there every fifth throw. It's like damn, that's good. But then it's like where the hell did he go? It's covered his flaws. You could just throw it up to him and catch everything that came at him. Um,
I'm going to respond because I've watched several games because I really really liked how Deshaun Watson's career was progressing in
I do
Houston.
too.
I really thought he was the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes 2 3 years back, whatever that was. Since he has returned, and I think it's a huge part of it is absolutely mental. And he kind of seems like he got broken by this whole process, which really sucks. But again, also his fault. He's a fucking weirdo. I'm not going to say he's
Remember what I
not.
just said.
Yeah, at least it wasn't.
But again, like it just doesn't look or feel the same. Even when he steps back and makes a good throw, I'm just like, there's just something a little bit off about this guy, and everything that I used to like about him is gone. Now, is maybe that a little bit like bias on my part because I know he's a fucking weirdo? Maybe, but it just doesn't look right to me.
He doesn't look comfortable at all. Like I don't know if it's what it is, but yeah, you're right. He definitely does look clunky in his mechanics. It doesn't seem like he's the Michael Jordan that Dabo Sweeney said he would be. But
Yeah, I mean,
something's off.
he looks uncomfortable. Like that's the right word. It's clunky and uncomfortable. Again, the obviously we all know the potential's there.
Needless to say, I think a lot of it feels forced.
Yeah.
Was that scripted?
No.
That was man. That was damn. Good one. I'll give you that one. Yeah.
But so hold on. But
Hey, cheers to that, buddy. There you go. That was a good one.
No. But let's go ahead and play that out. Just before we wrap that up, play that out. It is a guaranteed contract. What do you do with that one with $200 million left on it after this year? What do you do there?
Is it after this year? There's still 200 left.
Yeah.
Because he got paid nothing last year because it all would have got taken away or something. It was $1 million, I think, was last year. It was way, 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 way backloaded.
Because this is is this his second season or third season in Cleveland?
Second.
So he was suspended last year and then didn't play at all till week 11 last year.
Last year's cap hit $9.3 million. This year $19 million. Then it goes 63.9, 63.9, 63.9.
Hey, we don't have to worry.
This is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
We don't have to worry about being at the bottom of the AFC North for the next few years.
Man, that is rough. Talk about even if they do get rid of him, they're fucked.
Even if they raise the salary cap another 10%, that's still not going to help anything.
63.
64, essentially.
Yeah. That's a quarter of your team. Oh my goodness.
Salary cap's what, 228?
That's what I'm saying. It's damn near a 25% of your team or around there, something of it. I'm not great at math. I am from America and I went to public schools. So, but I think I'm in the vicinity.
It's about 20%.
All right. Well, before we get down, I have a few things that I really, really want to get to talk about. Right now, Carl, you'd be so proud of me. I am 4-0 on locks right now. 4-0. And if you remember last season, I was what, 2-14 or something like that.
You lost.
I don't believe it.
You lost the lock of the week last time we did this.
I did not.
Yeah, you did. You took the
New Orleans covered 1.5. They lost by a point.
They were a point and a half.
Yep, I have not lost the lock this week, so let me go ahead and give you mine right off the bat. and then you can listen to the two guys that actually will win you money. My lock this week, Los Angeles Chargers, 2-point underdogs at home to Dallas after Dallas just looked like a poop sandwich against the 49ers. Give me Herbie at home, getting 2 free points. Give me Herbie.
I don't like that.
Good. Come at me.
No, that's a great. I would recommend the Chargers in a teaser this week because if you look, they end up losing. They lose every game by one possession. So being able to tease them up to 9, I think that's a great play this week if you're into teasing games. But
Hey, we're going to 5-0. Until it's not true, it's true. What?
you know, how about this? I'll jump on the Chargers first half. I will bet Chargers first half that they will find a way to screw the pooch in the second half. I'll join you for the first half.
And it will 1,000% be Brandon Staley's fault.
Yes. Yes, it will.
Michael, why don't you hit me with your lock this week? I want to hear yours first.
Well, I'm going to pick against the team we were just discussing. San Francisco should win by, 40?
Theoretically.
They're playing. Deshaun Watson's not playing, from what I've read.
PJ!
That worries me because it's going to be one of them. He's going to come out and throw for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but there's really
The XFL's finest.
Yeah, there's really no reason San Francisco shouldn't win this game by halftime and be up by at least 4 touchdowns by the end of the game.
Oh, taking a page out of Cousin Carl's playbook. I am very contrarian.
I don't like picking big spreads like that, but there's really no reason Cleveland's in this game at all.
Oh, I thought you were
It's not
picking
even a big
Cleveland.
spread.
No, I'm picking San Francisco as my lock. No.
Okay.
There's no way they're in the game. San Francisco's win by 40.
It's only a 6-point spread from what I'm looking at right here.
It's only 6. It's gone to 6. That's scary. That's even better. I'm still going with San Fran.
It's 6. I mean, this is on Yahoo. It's 6.
I like.
I mean,
whatever the spread is, I'll take the Niners.
I don't like
it's up
this
to
game.
9.5.
I'm showing 9.5 too.
Yeah. I got 6 on Yahoo. I don't know what to tell you.
That's probably right before they announced your boy Sean was out, but it's showing. And Bet MGM is 9.5 currently.
My lock of the week is the 49ers.
All right. Mike G, lock of the week. San Francisco. Brock Purdy making his $900,000 a year and living underneath a highway overpass in San Francisco, pushing around a grocery cart full of probably crumpled $1 bills he had to collect standing near the bypass.
Who's your lock, Carl?
Oh, I actually, you know what's funny? I'm glad you said that because I said that in my head and I was wondering why the fuck Carl wasn't talking. I said it in my head, I just didn't say it out loud. I don't know why.
All right. I don't know what just happened there, but
I don't know. I blacked out.
Yeah, I haven't really figured out who my lock of the week is because you threw this at me today. Haven't really dove into the lines, and also, you know me, I like the dogs. So, you know, which one do I use as my lock of the week? Which one do I use as my lipstick?
Actually, why don't you go ahead before you give me a lock? First of all, since this is a new season, give me the explanation of the lipstick pick and give me your lipstick pick. That's what I'm asking for right now. Humbly request.
All right, so lipstick pick. Love explaining this one. So it's a term that I created, that I came up with because I'm a contrarian better. I like betting dogs. And then so I came up with a lipstick pick because I'm looking for a nasty dog that nobody wants to bet. And I'm going to pick them not only to cover the spread, but tell you to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on the money line that they might even pull the outright upset. Sometimes I'll tell you that, not always, but yeah. And if you think about a dirty, nasty dog, and you think about lipstick, you can put 2 and 2 together.
You're a sick man.
But anyway, so
What's the lipstick pick this week?
lipstick pick this week will be. Let me check and see. I want to double check and make sure the. We also said, and also with the lipstick pick, it can't be like a 2-point dog, a 3-point dog. We don't play around with that crap because that's basically saying almost a coin flip game. So that you can't be a lipstick pick there.
What'd you set it at? Was it 5 points?
I think we said like 4. I think we said it had to be at least 4, and that's
I
where
feel
you
like
scrolling.
I feel like it's got to be more than a field goal. That makes sense. I would even give it
So
3.5 or more.
all right, so this is where I'm going to go then, and this will make you kids happy. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans.
Oh
I'm going to
boy.
go with the Tennessee Titans. Go ahead and get this bet out of the way for your London pick. I believe the line is 4.5. Which one is it?
It's 4.
I got 4.
I got a question,
Okay.
Carl. I'm going to show you how well I know you. Have we talked today?
No, sir.
Can you see that? What is that? Can you? Damn, can't see that at all.
No.
So go ahead and make something up. Go ahead and make up. What does it say? What does it say?
It says Titans.
Yeah, I can't see it, but
No. Your lipstick pick. That's how well I know you. I knew you were going Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Yes. So lipstick pick Tennessee. Why were you showing us your lipstick? What was that?
Hold on. Do I have to pay for this? Is this OnlyFans? I didn't know this was your OnlyFans account. I thought this was private. How'd I get here?
No, I'm going with this. I don't really like it because of the London variable. So that's one thing that makes me a little bit nervous about it. But when I look at it, and Baltimore's coming off of 3 straight road games, 2 of those have been against division rivals, hard-fought games. Like that Steeler game had to be a pretty tough pill to swallow. And go ahead and make them travel over to London and take on a team. Getting 4.5 points right now. I'll take Tennessee in the points.
I don't hate that, and if it makes you feel any better, actually, it probably won't because you know how I bet. So I've got 10 on Tennessee.
I mean,
all right, never mind.
So
Just throw it away. Throw it away.
I should have asked first. But
I had Tennessee written down. I had the Jet and the Cardinals written down. Those are 2 I thought you'd pick. 2 I thought you may pick.
I'm glad that we know each other. You know me so well, there, little buddy.
Man, well, I mean, you could have went on a limb with the Panthers, but the wind-up toy that they have playing quarterback just doesn't suit your needs, I guess.
I actually was on the Panthers last week. Yeah.
So I watched. There was a video today that I saw from I don't know which Panthers game it was, but Bryce Young lined up in shotgun behind the right tackle, and Miles Sanders kind of tapped on him to get him to scoot over behind the center.
Right tackle, not right guard. Right tackle.
No, I'm sorry, right guard. It was right guard. He was, but he
like right tackle.
He was like looking around, and then he went to look forward, and Miles Sanders was like, bro, like, what are you doing? He kind of he played it off real cool, but in slow motion, obviously, somebody catching it on camera, you're like, you look like an idiot.
Well, that proves you don't need to be too smart to go to Alabama.
I don't know. Bryce Young seems like a real nice dude. He's just so. I told you, I was standing next to him at Panthers training camp. The dude is small because I am not a very tall dude. He's maybe an inch shorter than me. Anyway, Little, very tiny man. I'm 5'10" on a good day. That's if I'm wearing boots. What? All right. Did you have a lock? You want to pass on the lock? Is that what we're doing?
Ah, whatever, whatever. It's your show, bro.
It's Brews with Galoob, buddy.
We'll go with our two locks and your lipstick. Those are the three freebies we give this week because we're in a pick 'em too. So we don't want to give away all our trade secrets. I get it. We'll keep it with
Who's
that.
who's leading that, by the way?
Y'all two are tied, are you not?
Ah, you lost the lead after yesterday, didn't you?
Did I really?
I did.
No, the little girl wanting to stroke herself.
No, I'm still first.
I was not in the lead.
I have a 2-2
Ever.
lead.
Okay.
Okay. I had a good week the last couple weeks. Last week was a good week, but
Why is your voice cracking?
I'm 47 and 31 this year.
because I'm still a growing boy. I was actually trying to figure out in my head if it was last week or the week before that was a good one because they're few and far between. Did you take the Chiefs? Both of y'all took the Chiefs last night?
Yeah.
We were both low confidence.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was not. I knew it was going to be that. It always seems like Kansas City is way better, but it's always more of a game than it should be. It's a
Division
game.
rivals. Yeah. Division game.
I was thinking 10 to 14, so I actually went with the Chiefs. I didn't think they were going to kick the field goal, to be completely honest with you. I was actually sitting there. But
I had 8 on them. So, all right, change up gears. Let's get off of betting. That was fun. You got your 3 freebies. Lipstick was Tennessee. Lock was
49ers.
Tennessee. San Francisco. Chargers. I mean, I feel like these are all solid leads for you. Like if you were an insurance salesman and somebody handed you those cards, like here's a lead, not a bad idea to chase after these ones. All right, let's talk about something I got into today. I had a conversation while I was at lunch about NIL. And it was it didn't go the way I thought it would at all because the person I was talking to was really upset about the college guys making millions of dollars theoretically. It was kind of one of those like I can't believe they make that much money. How do we feel on NIL? Like I want to get into what like I think I do it all the time just because NIL is such a like an intriguing prospect and there's so many variables that go into it that are just unchecked. It's like I know everyone it's like commonplace to say it was the Wild West. It kind of is. It's free and loose. It gets a little wild, but I kind of like it at the same time. Michael?
So we had this discussion last time we did this. So I don't want to sound contradicting because I don't remember what I said. But
I do that all the time. Don't worry about it. You can be wrong as you want.
There's a place for it. I think there should be somewhat of a cap on it. So, and I say that as in the quarterback for Alabama. We'll just use an example. I don't know the exact number. Getting what $10 million a year, and your offensive lineman not getting anything. I think there's a problem with that. I don't disagree that money should be paid. The universities are benefiting off this, but I still think 18, 19-year-old kids don't need to be making that much money and nobody else making anything that's contributing to the cause. That is my opinion.
So it's okay for baseball players to sign that type of signing bonus coming straight out of high school?
I don't like baseball, so I could care less.
What type of money are they?
It's about the money and the age, though. You're saying they're too young to make that much money. What about a 14-year-old pop star that's making millions and it's going to the parents? Why are we?
And how does that turn out for them? How does that turn out for them?
Okay. I don't want to be on the.
Do they turn out to be like 9 times out of 10 a train wreck?
Are we their parents? We're just putting the money where it should rightfully go. It shouldn't go to a recording company. It shouldn't all go to the university. You take what you can get.
I agree with that. It should be dispersed amongst the team, not one player.
So if I kind of agree with you in the sense that we should stop acting like universities football teams and basketball teams are the. Uh-oh, did I lose you? We back?
Yeah.
Okay. We should this is exactly what I said earlier because it came down to the same thing. These young kids are making too much money.
We're
Well, they're the
videoing back.
one. I'm good on my screen here. It
I
must
can
just
see
be on
all.
the Skype call. Um, so anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. The universities are making all this money. The agency, the talent agencies, the music producers, they're making all this money. Well, whose place is it to say that the people that are generating this revenue just don't get it? Sorry, you can't have this. You're not old. We decided you're not old enough. We decided you can't. Who is we?
Okay,
I
so
don't
can you?
know. I don't know the right answer to set these parameters, and I understand what you're saying, but the moral compass is gone in a lot of ways. Why does it come down to? Guess what? Duke University's basketball program makes X amount of dollars.
And
Okay, well that's a lot compared to the 10 guys that are sitting on the bench.
right, but the center shouldn't make all the money and nobody else make anything. You're not going to sit here and tell me all 53 players or 75 players on a college football team are getting paid.
Well, but again, this is again one of those easy to argue situations because, but this is all about getting paid. Like not everyone's worth the same. Like not the center isn't like the lineman isn't worth what the quarterback's worth. Like that, but you can have like with this slotted values for
Yes.
each of the
Yeah.
positions. Okay, so again, I'm saying my stance isn't 100% right. Like, yes, me, I'm concerned. I'm the moral guy. Like, I care about that. I care about the fact, but that when you start making college athletes, football players, like it's different. Give me this crap about high school, like in baseball. Nobody has a camera in their face. They're not making millions right out of high school when they go to baseball. They're eventually going to make it. But, anyways, my point with that is now look what the kids are doing. They're quitting high school football now because they know they can make millions in college.
They don't want to get hurt.
Do you, no, do you see what the kid just did? He quit
Yeah.
because he's going to go to Colorado. So that's a slippery slope crap that I care about. Those kids aren't ready for so you talk about baseball, they're at least graduated from high school. We now have kids making business decisions in high school, and I don't like that. Where does this stop? There's not enough parameters there. If I had my way, this is what would happen. You would pay the guys only if they graduate from college. Why? Because if they leave college early, they're getting paid. So give them an incentive to stay into college and then give those guys. That's how I would handle the situation. There's other ways. I'm sure there's loopholes in that as well, but that's how I would handle it to make sure kids stay in college and then to incentivize them for sticking around for 4 years instead of bailing. That way you keep the college viable for longer because you have better talent pool there because they stick around longer.
You're getting into kind of like a point where you need agents and lawyers involved, which I do think there needs to be. And there needs to be some, if we're going to treat it like a business, which is what we're doing, we're just not, we're pretending it's still student athletes and it's not a business. It is. Just separate the football teams from the school, separate the basketball teams from the school. Run it like that, have bargaining agreements, have salary caps. It's got to be regulated in some way. I think that's 100% right. Because
I
right
agree with
now,
that.
yes, the quarterbacks are and the wide receivers are the ones that make the money. That they're selling the jerseys. They are making the money off NIL. I don't know what happened to Mike here,
He's
but
mad. He
now
didn't like my take.
you're split onto two screens, and my screen looks all goofy. You messed up the OBS. Hold on one second. We got we got some technical difficulties.
You can edit this stuff, right?
No, this is live. I just don't know where he is.
I thought you were going to chop this up.
No, but what I can do is this looks hilarious now. Give me one second here. Bear
Ready?
with me while I do what I'm doing. It's gonna look funny. We're gonna keep it this way. So you're gonna replace. This looks funny.
Tell you another dog that I like this week, Tampa. What do you think about that? Tampa and Detroit. Granted, I didn't use that one because that's only 3 points, but I don't see Tampa getting a lot of love. That's one
Man,
that I.
now you're giving away my picks.
Were you going to talk more about that?
Now you're on two screens and it's all messed up. It's fine.
There we
We'll
go.
go with that. We got double Carls here, and the windows are all messed up. Thanks a lot, Michael. You should have paid your internet bill. Anyway, so I guess my point is, when it comes down to it, is that if we're going to treat it like a business, there does need to be business balance here, business checks and balances, just like any other business. Wait, is he back?
My power went out. I'm sorry. It flickered and went off. Sorry.
Hold on. Sweet Lord. All right. If you have any NIL thoughts, do that while I fix this screen because it is all jacked up.
Again, I'll say I don't remember we were slotting it for positions. I think that's a great idea. Again, I don't think a quarterback or a certain player needs to make $20 million and nobody else make anything. I think it should be slotted. I think there should be a cap of some sort. Paid. It's a violent sport. Anybody can get hurt any day. My thoughts on
And
I don't think you're completely wrong, and you just missed part of what I said. I just think there needs to be. So yes, there needs to be checks and balances if we're going to run it like a business. Let's treat it like a business, but there has to be a system in place
yeah,
somehow, some way.
I don't want to get that to be lost in what I was saying earlier. Yeah, I do think that they need someone. Yes, I get there's some people that just say, well, a free education, and that the platform to show off your skills to NFL scouts. There's people that say that's value there, that's their payment. Yeah, they need a little bit more. They need a little bit more than that. So I don't want to make it sound like I think they don't need anything, but they definitely need to be more regulated. It needs to be more regulated, and there's got to be a better way than what they're
Well, so
currently doing.
that came up to the whole scholarship deal. And honestly, if you're making over X amount, this is another check and balance. There'd have to be some bylaw. If you're making over X amount, you don't get free school. We're going to give that to an academic scholarship. We're going to give that to the chess team. We're going to give that to the girls lacrosse. Who cares? If you're making X amount of dollars, we don't need to be giving you free school.
it. All right, man. I like that.
There's a
Yeah,
lot that has to go into it, and I'm sure it's not lost on me that there's people probably behind closed doors, way more important people than me, you, and you, talking about this and actually making decisions. They're going to affect or impact this long term. But it's interesting to talk about, and I don't think we have terrible ideas.
no, I think they're all good ideas. And again, I like if you're going to make a certain amount of money, you don't need to come here on a free ride either. Give it to somebody else who can't afford to pay $1 million to go to college. I mean, realistically, that's what it costs these days, even though Biden says it's free.
Well, well, I tell you what else is a huge problem for me. The fact that Caleb Williams is deciding I want to go to these teams because the NFL slotting system is going to pay me less. I'll stay in school for another year and make more money than I can as a rookie NFL quarterback. And he's not wrong. That's how the system's designed right now. He's not wrong. Why the hell would I want to go to some place that I don't know where he said he doesn't want to go, but some place I don't want to go when I can make double the money and stay at USC and probably be USC freaking legend. I'll stay at
So,
Southern Cal. Southern Cal's probably awesome.
so stay in school and make $20 million a year in Southern California, or go to the Windy City in Chicago and play with Justin Fields and suck.
Right. Well, exactly. Well, I mean, it's not that much, but it is more than he'll make. What Brock Purdy's making? What 900,000 right now?
Yeah, he was a seventh round pick.
I want to say last year Caleb Williams made like 2.9 million or something. Why would you?
As a first round pick? First
No,
round picks make more than that.
but he'll get his endorsements deals and all that kind of stuff that I'm sure he's
Now
signed.
this is last year. I'm sure he's making more money this year, and if he stays another year, it's probably even more.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but again, it goes to that slippery slope that I don't like. Like the reason why, I get that there needed to be change. Just like a lot of things in life, I feel like there needs to be a change, and we just swing the damn pendulum too far. that's the same thing with this. And we don't like there wasn't a lot of thought
Thought.
put in. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of thought put into it. But again, so I could go like another list. So there you have that. Once people start like you got transfer portal crap, you got this where people are going to decide they're not going. I get that Eli did it and John Elway did it, but yeah, that's 2 times in what 30 years. Okay, but now like how often do you think you're going to see that? But anyways, but then you also take into consideration something that we never talked about, but you have 2 guys that like West Virginia University on this call. Think about that. Like that's why another thing I don't like about NIL is like maybe we need to slot it based on conference because damn it, West Virginia, we could contend once every 10 years. We'll never contend again. We'll never contend again. Too small of a market. We can't pay what the rest of the Big 12 fan bases can. We're not that market. We have no chance to outbid people. We will never ever contend again. If a player does well, watch West Virginia. Let's say they wouldn't have lost to Hail Mary. They're 5-1. Let's say they have a solid season. Watch how many people transfer from West Virginia. It's going to be the damn minor leagues to the big schools. They're going to go. They can't start for Alabama. They'll go to West Virginia, get some game tape out there, and they're going to transfer because of this damn transfer world. So there's all kinds of things about this that I don't like. It just again, Wild West. I don't like it. Like I'm almost done completely out on football until BCS playoffs. Call me.
Well, that's another huge problem. I didn't even touch on that, and I'm glad you did. The transfer portal is it's like the easiest way I can say it is a fucking mess. It's a disaster. How can you have these guys just changing 1 year, 1 year? I get more money here. I play here. There's not. There has to be some type of contract. You're right. That's going to keep these guys at this school because they have to be somewhere for 3 years before they can go to the NFL.
If their
Why?
coach leaves, they can leave.
There has to be something that locks them in. You're right. A
And see,
100%.
and see that's a swinging pendulum too, because you can almost understand why you would want to leave. I mean, I didn't sign to play here for this guy.
Yeah.
Again, there's always the swinging pendulum, and we always take things way too far. But I didn't go. College is your last free choice, essentially.
But that's not how it's almost like free agency, but with no restrictions. I guarantee you, some kid that plays for example, some small, so let's plays for Marshall University, has a great freaking year out of nowhere. I guarantee you during the off season or transfer season, that kid's phone is blowing up from a bunch of D1 schools. Hey, hop in the portal, come here, we'll give you X amount of dollars. We got you a Range Rover lined up because we can do whatever the fuck we want. We're already gonna print your jerseys as soon as you say you're coming. You're gonna make a ton of money here. Why the hell would that guy stay at Marshall University? He's not going to. He doesn't have to.
There's no right way to do it because, again, let's say you're at Marshall or Alabama for 3 years, and Saban gets fired. I don't want to play for somebody else. I spent 3 years here. You should be able to go.
I would say that would be one of the few exceptions where it could just be pick up, drop, and leave.
You come in as a freshman. No, you signed here. You be here for 3 years. That is you've been here 3 years. You put 3 years here. Okay, you can leave. You want to leave after a freshman, you can't play for a year. Though there was nothing wrong with the system the way it was.
I just, I'll be. We talked about you being Nate old earlier, Nate. I'll go ahead and put the icing on the cake of who in the hell's old here. We keep doing this crap where we want everything to be fair. See what kind of civilization that we live in when we fight so damn hard to make everything fair, everything easy, everyone coddled. Let's see what kind of men and women that turns out. Let's see what the hell happens when we have to go, bend over backwards to make sure everything. Look, do they deserve money? Yes. Like life isn't fair. Like give them some money and move on. But because we have to keep bending the rules to make everything and trying to make everything perfect, screw it. Just life isn't fair. There's nothing wrong with having a free ride and a little bit of cash. Just move on. But guess what? We're way past that. That's my get off the lawn moment.
Yep, there's nothing perfect about it. Move on.
Calm down, Clint Eastwood. Please just sit up there on the porch and drink your PBR. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on most of that. I can't even. There's a lot of things that I think need to change, and a lot of it's mindset of young people. But I also see so many that are rubber banding back to being the opposite of what we're seeing, and that makes me happy too. It's like you're talking about with the pendulum swings. When it swings so far one way, it always corrects itself, and sometimes it overcorrects itself. That's when you get your way on the other side. It's got to come back the other way. It happens with like almost everything in life, though. It's not like specific to one thing. I mean, hell, I saw somebody wearing bell-bottom jeans the other day.
Mm.
Glad that's coming back. Super excited.
Apple bottom jeans.
No,
Boots.
no, that's
That's
different.
not you skipped a few
Yeah,
decades.
yeah. Whenever acid wash comes back, though, acid wash, I'm in for that. Count me in. I never got to experience that. Was that the 80s? I feel like, well, nobody would know that here, but I feel like that was like the
Hey,
80s.
hey,
What, you
70s.
were in diapers.
I was 8. I was a mature 8-year-old dude.
I had hair on my nugs.
He was already shaven.
I could make my own bowls of cereal.
Damn right.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's all I got on NIL. I feel like I could sit and talk about NIL for hours though. There's so much like intriguing, interesting shit. There's so many different aspects to the like the honey. It's like a honeycomb. There's so many different little pockets to explore in this thing.
You could talk about it for hours and end up right back where you started.
No, I feel like
I,
something is going to change, and I don't think anyone's wrong about that. There's like this right now is the golden age for players in NIL. I think this is going to end sooner than later.
I hope you're right, but I can tell you that I won't get, like Mike said, you won't get another, like, you're not going to get me talking about NIL. I just told you both my feelings on NIL. You won't hear me talk about it again. Why? Because it ain't worth my time to talk about something that is just such a crap show and it'll never go anywhere.
Hey, I said that 2 weeks ago. We spent 30 minutes on this one.
I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to make you do it.
Nope.
I like it. I like it because it's different. It's something that has to be figured out. And right now, it's not a rubber band ball. It's a bag full of rubber bands that you got to turn into the rubber band ball.
It's a bag full of shit.
I mean, that's another unconventional way to look at it, and I don't know if it's completely fair, but I'm fine with it if that's your assessment. There's no wrong answers here. It's just like class.
It is a result of the worst pandemic in our era. Oh,
All right, real quick, and then I want to play a quick game, and then we're going to wrap this thing up because it's getting late. Real quick on the George Kittle celebration. Yay
fantastic.
or nay? You liked it?
Fantastic.
Carl?
Are you kidding me? I hate the Cowboys. Like, yeah. Like, no, I'm all for it. Like, again, I'm old school. I want people not to like each other. I love how much the
Yes.
Ravens and Steelers dislike each other. I'm not
Yes.
saying go out and hurt each other, but there should be hate. Quit shaking
I
hands
don't
and
know.
kissing each
I,
other.
I
Like,
grew up in an era of
hate.
playing football where the other team wanted to hurt you. And
I
I don't
want
think it was a bad product.
Hate,
I think it was
hate,
a
hate,
great
hate,
product.
hate, 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 hate,
I quit doing that. That's like
Yeah, hold it up here. You can't hold it down here. It looks weird. You
I
gotta be
was
up
trying
here.
to I was trying to bang on the table. Player haters ball. But anyways, you guys are
Yeah,
too
you were
white.
trying. I believe
I,
you. You were trying to
You
bang on
guys
the
are too
table. I'll
white to
get it.
understand. Too
I,
white.
You
oh,
think I haven't seen every single episode of the Chappelle Show ever? Stop it.
Whatever, Whitey.
I enjoy the era. I enjoy the era of watching James Harrison try to rip off somebody's head.
Oh,
He truly disliked the other team, and I love to
This
see it.
we again, that is the perfect rivalry in this instance, and the Cowboys Niners is a once a year rivalry, but um, the fun factor of watching of is somebody going to get their head knocked off. Again, I know injuries and everything, complicate that, but
I don't
um,
care. Like, I don't
I
like to see
don't
somebody
care.
get hurt, but like, it's part of it. It is
It,
part of it.
it is a violent sport, man. It is not. If you're going to make it soft, put flags on their belt buckle, and let them go.
I like I said, I come from the era where most of my teammates had the "I will die on this football field" attitude,
Yes.
and that creates a quality fucking product, whether you like it or not.
I like the 9-6, 10-7, 13-10, 14-10 game, just trying to kill each other to win the
Mm.
football.
Let's
I
talk
mean,
about one of the best aspects of that is guess what Kittle said when asked about it. Did he do like everyone else does after they do something they had no business apologizing for? They sit there and be like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that." No, he doubled down, no regrets. I'm glad that he did that instead of being one of these pansies that give some BS apology.
yeah,
So
what if you?
Have you ever listened to George Kittle's clips? Is mic'd up though? He is a hilarious dude.
he belongs in the WWF.
Yeah,
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
yeah. I think
And
he
you
doubled.
know, go ahead.
I think he doubled down and said, "I don't like them."
Yeah.
That was fuck them. That was what the shirt said. Exactly what
I
he meant.
don't. I love it. He also only got fined $13,000. What's that to like a normal human? Five
The only
bucks?
thing,
Who gives a
the
shit? It
only
was
thing that
worth
would have
it.
made it better was Micah Parsons run across there and hit him like the guy did when T.O. put the ball on the star. That would have been the
Oh,
only.
cow. That would have been good. I
That'd have been.
come on, come
That
on,
was perfect.
Micah.
Well, hopefully they'll get each other in the playoffs or something like that, and they'll get another shot.
I
So
hope not, because I hope Dallas lose the rest of their games. I can't fucking stand them.
He said Dallas was going to go to the playoffs.
no, that would be the only thing I would like to see if they went there is to get
It's all right. The Commanders.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
And don't
I
worry.
know. I know. I keep freaking this cough. It's every time I laugh. It's only when I laugh. It used to. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I had to sleep on my stomach, or I'd be coughing all night. But if I slept on my stomach, I guess it would come up. I don't know. But now I can
yeah.
sleep. But if I laugh too hard, I start coughing. It's awful.
So, thanks for that
I
mental illness.
told. Hey, I'm basically a doctor also, and I'm a chiropractor. I'll hook you up. Come on down. I think I told you, Michael, about Virginia Tech. Carl, have you ever been to a Virginia Tech game?
Yes.
You have.
I'm from. What are you talking about? I moved here from Virginia.
I know, but you're a West Virginia fan. Where do you put the Virginia Tech Enter Sandman on the scale of awesome stadium experiences?
I'm biased, but I would say that it's for me it's number two after singing Country Roads, at West Virginia University. So
Country
So you,
roads take me home. Sorry.
I was enjoying it. You stopped. So you have it second. I would say that was probably the most incredible thing I've done in a college stadium or been a part of. And you know what's funny about it is we went to the home opener for Virginia Tech, and they were playing Old Dominion. I bought 50-yard line up top seats, not super cheap, not super nice. We were 50-yard line right up top, and Old Dominion's colors are blue and white. Guess what dipshit didn't check to see what colors Old Dominion were? Because who the hell would do that and wears a blue and white shirt to the fucking game? I'm
your brother.
walking up. No, me. I did.
Oh,
I don't even know what my brother was wearing. Like he looked like a construction worker wearing like a high visibility yellow T-shirt. So I don't even know what we looked like walking up to the game. But I get out. We
Dumb and Dumber.
park. Probably. We park in somebody's front yard because half the front yards have those little stakes because they don't understand that the 5 foot off the road is the right of way. They just think it's their grass and you can't park there. I wish I had the nuts to park there, but I didn't want to fight any old men. So anyway, we found one that didn't have that. We parked next to on a side street. Walk up. As we're walking up, all these fucking hokey frat guys start giving me shit because I'm wearing blue and white. It's just a Mossy Oak fishing shirt. It's not. It doesn't say anything crazy. It doesn't even say football. It just says Mossy Oak fishing. But they don't know. So they're screaming at me as we're walking up. I didn't even know what to say. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Leave me alone. Old guy doesn't know what he's doing. I didn't. I'm like, I'm not going to stop and explain to every 21-year-old kid that's hammered. Oh, I didn't know. So eventually, we get about halfway to the stadium. These frat guys keep hollering at me. Not the same ones, different ones every time. Eventually, I come to the conclusion the only thing I can do is just say, "Go Hokies back," like scream it. So every time somebody gives me shit, I'm just like, "Hell yeah, go Hokies!" And it like deer in the headlights. What did you just say? What happened? Wait, what, bro? And I would just wave them off and keep walking. So
Their heads are exploding. Like,
yeah, they're like, "What just
what
happened?"
happened?
So we get up there to the stadium, and they do the like pregame thing with the video board and all that, and then the lights dim. Then you hear the Enter Sandman start to play. They're coming down the what do you call it? The tunnel, I guess. It's not a tunnel, but it's underneath the stands. You know what I'm talking about. And it shows the video of the guy standing up front. And I look over at my brother, and the hair on his arms are just standing up. And I'm like, dude, can you imagine being one of those four guys about to run out onto the field with that shit playing? And then they bust out, and 80,000 people are screaming every single lyric of the whole song. It was a fucking amazing. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
And imagine, then take that as it. Like, imagine them playing a meaningful game and you being a Hokie fan. Like, imagine how like awesome that would feel. But
Right? Yeah.
I have a question. Whenever you're done, Mike.
No, go ahead, because I'm going to slightly change subjects, but I'm not changing subjects. So go ahead.
So my subject is going to be, what are your thoughts on, because two of us live in the Columbia, South Carolina market. What are your guys' thoughts on the USC intro? They talk about that being one of the top 5, top 10 in college football traditions. I think it's trash. I think it's horrible. I feel like I'm watching somebody land on the moon.
Well, I can tell you that I just went to a game, the first home opener, and the opening. I agree with you. So I don't know where this Odyssey 2001 thing. They said it's so exciting. It is not exciting. Sandstorm, however, Sandstorm's top 5. It is amazing.
Sandstorm. I created.
I got to hear this story. I got to hear it.
At the game.
I need it.
Talked to Little Connors. My wife was going to USC at the time. I tricked her, and I was like, "You and your girlfriend don't care about this game. Let us have your student tickets. You go sit up in the nosebleed seats. You don't care. We're sitting there, just destroyed, drunk out of our minds." And you can ask Little Connors. I'm sitting there bench pressing him, just like retard muscles, just going absolute bananas during that game as they upset.
You can't say retard. Can't say retard.
But it was.
You can say whatever you want. There's no rules. There's no rule.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was bad.
So
there's one rule. So wait. So how did you create it? What do you mean?
I'm just saying I was at the game where Sandstorm originated. It was
okay.
Ole Miss.
Did you did you PD Pablo your shirt spinning like a helicopter?
I did I don't know. I did a lot of dumb stuff that game. I
don't remember.
We won't get in there. But anyways, but bottom line is.
Well, if you didn't know,
Sandstorm's awesome. The other thing is absolute trash.
So how did
I agree with you. And if you didn't know before today, Cousin Carl started Sandstorm. Michael?
So how does that compare to when me and you went to the race? Hold on, come back.
I hear you.
I gotta see your face, even though I can only see your nose down.
Go ahead.
How did that compare to the race me and you went to? Remember we were at 2011. Junior comes into turn 3. This
was in Charlotte. We were in Charlotte with Strip.
He comes off turn 4 and loses the lead. We're walking through the parking lot. I'm drunk as fuck. The guy makes a comment, Junior sucks, Harvard rules, and I punched him in the face.
I mean, what do you want me to rate? The excitement level of turn 4? Or?
Mike just beat the fuck out of him. Deck that little bitch.
Cursing a lot.
Let me say that I was also highly inebriated. But I do remember him coming around turn 3 and losing gas between 3 and 4. And it was like the air just got sucked out of the stadium. Because it was loud for an outdoor, and you know how a racetrack is. It's one side. It's not a bowl with an arena. So for it to be that, oh my God, it was loud and it was so fucking cool. And then all of a sudden it was over. It was just like,
It was
oh,
like just
well,
poof. It was silent.
somebody, yeah, it was like somebody just punched me in the stomach.
But the excitement factor was great because, fuck him.
That was the most exciting part of a race that I've ever been to. So, I will say, like, I'm a big fan of like stadium arena experiences.
Yep.
Another one on my top one. I got super lucky to grow up outside the Chicago area in the '90s, seeing the running of the Bulls intro with Michael Jordan live with the laser show. I peak excitement, especially as like a 12-year-old kid.
So what I was leading, so I was leading into that to lead into this. The intro for that race. Do you remember that was right after all the guys were parachuting in? It was Memorial Day weekend. What they do for that race on Memorial Day weekend for the veterans, and I was talking about the intro prior to the race of everything, all the show that they put on
Right.
was the flag and the American, the national anthem and all that kind of stuff is what I was getting. They parachuting in.
Well, you know, in a NASCAR race, if it's Veterans Day or Memorial Day, they're going to do it up.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I've lost kind of my passion for NASCAR, though. I don't. They lost a lot of their stars over the years. My two favorite racers are gone. Carl Edwards was my guy. Kevin Harvick's last year, right?
Yep. He retires in a few weeks.
So I don't feel any strong connections to the new guys. I don't like the new format. I I don't know. I just don't watch it anymore.
I watch it to bet on it, so that's I got a gambling problem like Carl. So
That's a different kind. Also, if you get a chance to go see Renegade live in Heinz,
oh yes,
pretty awesome too.
yeah, that's
They,
pretty.
what? Even Raiders fans can admit that it's cool.
Yeah, yes, it is.
That's it.
Yep.
You know what? I'll accept it. Nah, I guess it's probably fine.
I can.
Like,
You want me to show the
No, no, no. No,
the
no, no.
story?
All right, let's wrap this thing up. I got one more quick little game to go, and we'll wrap this thing up. We're going to do. So I did this today. I don't know why. It just sounded like a fun thing to do. I'm going to use nostalgia word association. I'll call it out to one of you. I just want like a quick. What does this make you think of? I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to throw out something. You're going to say a response based on what I say. Let's start with Carl because I feel like you're going to know this one. The Oregon Trail computer game.
like, do I look like a guy that spent a lot of time with computers, dude?
You never played the Oregon Trail?
No, you got to remember, I'm like 20 years older than you, dude.
Ah, stop it.
Like
All right.
I was out there
Old as
blazing the
fuck.
Oregon Trail. Like I was out there with Lois and Clark. Like I'm old, dude.
Listen, I caulked my wagon with my oxen and I forded the river.
Yeah.
I also
Are
have
you
died of
talking? Is that like?
dysentery three
Is that like?
different times.
Is that like Roller Coaster Tycoon? Like.
Yes.
That's way later. That's way later.
Well, maybe I was poor and it took me a long time.
See, that was my problem. We couldn't get regular Nintendo. We had to wait a while. We had to save up to get the Super Nintendo. We had to save for like 10 freaking years.
I'm sorry for
All
letting you
right.
down. No.
I really thought you were going to be on that one. All right. Let me hit you with the redemption here. Zach Morris.
Okay, what about him?
I don't know. What does that do? That's what do you,
Well, no, I mean Zach Morris. So my story is super weird. When I think of Zach Morris, I think
see.
of
This is
I
what I want to hear.
Okay, so like again, you guys were probably too young. I remember being in school, and there was a rumor that came out that he died in a car accident. So to this day, when I see him pop up on like some sitcom or like some cop show or something like that, I'm like, oh, he's not dead. Like I forgot because it was so like all the girls were so freaked out. Maybe it was just my school, but like everyone, like these girls were all kinds of jacked up because there was a rumor that he died in a car accident, and it was all like fake news.
Good news. Mark Paul Gosselaar's not dead.
So it's funny because I saw him on something recently, like on a preview for something, or I can't remember what it was, and I was like, he's not dead. Like I still I still gotta remind myself.
All right, Michael. Just so you know, Zach Morris did not die.
I hope not.
Jolt Cola.
He was getting ready to get emotional. Did you hear that?
Hey, when I think of Zach, I think of Screech.
I mean, I was more of a Slater guy, but I guess that makes sense.
No, when you think of Zach, you should be thinking of Kelly Kapowski. Is what you should be thinking.
Oh, you're right about that. Sorry, we're over here thinking about dudes. What's wrong with us?
You do know all their names. I guess you are kind of older than us, aren't you?
Yeah. Let's
Hey,
move on.
I lived on Saved by the Bell.
Let's move on.
Michael, have you ever had a Jolt Cola?
No.
Really? Man. How about Vault?
Yes. Nasty.
Caffeine juice. So Jolt Cola, I remember it came out. I think it was like a competitor to Surge. It was like those extra juice caffeine drinks, like
Yeah.
way before energy drinks were a thing. It was just a soda that had double the caffeine. It was all the rage. And we used to go down this little mini mart from the elementary school. So we would have to walk from the junior high school to the tech center to have basketball practice or football practice. And there was this little mini mart, and they got Joel Cola. And I used to drink one of them some bitches every day before practice. That's probably why I was a shithead. But it had
Probably.
like 150 milligrams of caffeine, which I guess was a lot back then. But now they drink like 400 milligrams. But
Yeah.
Jolt Cola disappeared and fell off the map, along with Vault and Surge and all those. It was like a fad almost.
Yeah. You remember Vanilla Coke?
They still make vanilla Coke.
I haven't seen one in years.
No, you can go get a 12 pack at the Food Line right now.
Shit, well, I don't have Food Line. My bad.
Oh, okay. What's down there?
Publix?
Oh, I'll go get a pub sub right now. All right. How about? Well, Michael, I lost you on Joel Cola. Let's go with this. You were one of these two. There wasn't any like in between.
Where
Christina
you going?
Aguilera or Britney Spears?
Christina Aguilera.
I'm in. Carl?
Britney Spears, now, like then or now?
No, when you were much younger, when they had like tear out pictures in magazines.
I was Team Britney.
Were you? I mean, I can't hate on either, but I was definitely a Christina guy.
I was a Christina guy. Yep.
She was too skinny. Never mind. I'm not going to say anymore. But you know I like them big. No.
You got your ass in trouble.
You know, I'm a fan of a size zero when I see one.
Pig.
All right. Which team's starter jacket did you have?
Hornets. I had a Hornets.
Oh,
Starter
that was like
jacket
the most popular one for some reason.
because Grandma Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, like yeah,
And Muggsy.
back then. Yep, they had. I don't know if you were old enough to remember Larry Johnson, and he had his grandmama commercials, so he was dressed up like an
Yeah,
old lady, slam dunking balls and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was. You were cool if you had Charlotte Hornets gear.
a lot of kids had those. It was weird, especially being up there because you either had the Bulls or the Hornets.
Yeah, I had the Bulls.
It
I
makes
was I was in
sense.
Virginia, and it was the hot ones were that, and then the Oakland A's because of crisscross.
That makes sense too.
There we go.
Which makes it even more ridiculous that I had a Miami Hurricanes jacket.
Oh, that was another one that was big.
That was the one I had. Everyone had one.
I used to
So
get a bunch of Bulls stuff. My dad he would, back when we had VCRs, he'd tape the Bulls games, and we'd watch them when he got home from work because he'd miss them. We'd rewatch
oh
them.
man, that's so classic.
Yeah.
Dad recording the game with the VCR tape.
On the side of one of them, it's like the 1997 Game 5 flu game, right? Like, I still have it. And
Oh,
the white,
I guarantee you that Russell has them in the attic in a box, and there's a bunch of them that are just labeled. Like,
yep,
how am I even going to watch these things, Bob?
yep, I still have that one.
All right, pick one. Pick one again. Monday Night Football on ABC or NBA on NBC?
NBA on NBC.
I feel like
What?
NBA on NBC was fire.
You had who the hell was the damn
Was Costas
Rashad?
on NBC then?
Maybe you had the Rashad guy. He was the hell was his name? Rashad.
Sports Illustrated guy. Like
Yeah,
he did.
fuck was his name?
Um,
Oh,
I don't know who you're
Ahmad
talking
Rashad.
about.
Ahmad Rashad.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was that was good. And
But like, there's
it was always Bulls. It was like a Sunday afternoon, 3:30. Yep, it was Bulls games or whatever the hell it was. Yep.
there's something nostalgic about being able to watch those games on my TV that had 4 channels, and I had to go spin the freaking dial when my dad told me to go change it, and then I had to adjust the antenna just right so we didn't have any fuzziness in the picture.
Yeah, it's like the VCR tapes. It comes in, you got all the black and white blur shit going on in the background.
Yeah,
Across the middle of it as it's trying to catch up.
kids these days will never ever know. Ugh.
I'll never understand.
What was your vote, Carl? You like Monday Night Football? You like the Hank Williams intro?
yes.
Yes.
I can't argue with either. They were both fantastic products.
What's your thoughts on the new one? Stapleton one. On Monday, is it Monday night? Sunday night?
Oh, we all know which one's the best intro right now.
Well, Sunday Night Football,
Taylor
because
Swift. If you go say Taylor Swift, all right, I thought you were going to say some stupid shit.
no, it's my girl.
Yes,
And I do love Carrie.
that's the
You
best
did see
intro right now.
And did you see? I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago. She watched herself sing it from the studio production side for the first time ever.
I didn't
She
see that.
watched the intro that she had pre-recorded. She was live at the stadium watching all the monitors and screens.
I didn't see that.
It was pretty cool. All right, I feel like those were solid. How about I'll give this one to Carl. Calling your friend's home phone line to ask to talk to him, only to have their dad say, "He's busy, don't call back." Like,
A weird man. You're really scarred about something.
I feel like it happened all the time because my dad would be like, "Stop calling. You called like 6 times," and it would be the home phone line, so there's only one line.
So
I remember when I had my favorite part was when I thought I was so cool when I got my own number because I could tell people because I'm a sports store. I would say, "Oh yeah, 439 Michael Jordan, Michael Irvin." Like that's how I told all my buddies. 439 Michael Jordan, Michael Irvin.
That's how you remembered numbers back then.
2388.
The easiest way to remember a home phone number, and you only had to remember one. Now you don't even have to remember numbers anymore. They're all in your phone.
So I couldn't use the home phone growing up because Dad worked for the railroad and he got called to work, and obviously, like you said, there was only one line, so I wasn't allowed to be on the phone.
Yeah, you don't talk on the phone.
You're not gonna cost me to miss work, boy. You ain't gonna have no place to live.
God forbid Jessica try to call me. I'm getting yelled at for talking on the phone more than 10 minutes because the line's tied up. I feel like the home phone line era was highly underrated too because it taught you to talk to adults on the phone. It taught you to interact on the phone. Now everything's texting. You don't call anyone. Nobody knows how to call and ask for somebody. Nobody knows how to address adults.
I never thought about that. Now I'm following you finally is what you're saying, like that awkwardness of like I was all like revved up to talk to somebody and I gotta compose myself and be like, yes ma'am, like I'm looking for Billy.
Right. Also, is it okay if he comes over and plays basketball for like a half hour?
No, 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 no. That's what you do. That was my thing when I was a kid. I never asked my mom. I made my friends ask my mom because
Oh,
she
that's
was
a
less
good.
likely to say no
That's
to
right.
my friends. That was the
That's a
play.
that's a power move. That's a kid power move from the
Yeah.
'90s. Hey, do you want to stay the night? Well, yeah, I want you to too, but you got to go ask because she's going to tell me no.
Or when you went and asked, and she was like, "I'm not. You're not going till I talk to their mom,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good one too.
and you're not going unless I have a phone."
All right, that's all I got on the nostalgia. That's it. I feel like that was a good little walk. I'm going to put together more of those. I think that's fun to talk about old stuff, kind of dissect it.
Yeah, still old. I appreciate
Hey, we've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to turn this thing into a podcast. If you've made it this far, obviously you've had fun. Thank you, Carl, for joining me. Thank you, Mike, for joining me. This will be live on Spotify in a few hours. Follow me on TikTok. I'm Galoob QB1. The actual YouTube link is also to Galoob QB1, but obviously, if you're here, you already know that. We're also on Facebook. We're on Apple Pods. We are on Pandora. So wherever you can intake your audio media, whatever, we're there. Hook me up. Hit me with a follow. Hit me with a like. Tell your friends. Don't tell your friends. Actually, you can just X off the screen. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. Guys, thanks for joining me.
it. Not a
Pleasure.
problem.
You all
Thanks
have a
for
good
having
one.
us.